Okay, now we're going to paint the trailing flowers. That's these little purple flowers right here and the little blue flowers down here. Okay, these are really pretty easy, so we're not going to practice them. I think we'll be okay, but I'm going to show you a little bit of a mapping trick. These flowers are kind of at a triangle, so I'm going to touch right here and put one dot here, 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 and here. And see, I've got a little bit of a triangle here, and I've got a little bit of a triangle there. So with the purple leading, I'm going to start up here at the top. I'm going to stand straight up and down, and I'm going to lean backwards, and I'm just going to kind of flip that in like that. And then I'm going to come over here, and I'm just going to fill these in. Touch, push down, and flip. Touch, flip, touch, flip, until I fill all of this in following the lines that I used. You can do 2, 3, 4, 5 of these at a time. They're really pretty easy to do. Remember, keep your arm off the table so you're flipping your brush kind of like that. Okay, so I'm touching and I'm flipping it in. And I'm going to leave some of them out there like that. These are pretty easy to do. I think you'll enjoy these. These are good filler flowers or trailing flowers. You can see how I'm just flipping and putting those in. And I'm not getting that chisel edge every time in between, because it's kind of nice when they do fluff out a little bit. Okay, so there's some of the purple ones. And go ahead and finish all these little purple flowers up. I'm adding another little clump right here. One, there, 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 and there. So see, I've got my little triangle. Right here's 3, and there is 3. So now I'm just going to fill this in and pull those back into it. These are just little trailing flowers. Really quite easy to do. If you want some to come off a little farther, you could get some to come off here like that. Okay, and there's one more clump of these right here. I'm going to put some in right here where we had these leaves. One there, one there. See, so now I have my triangle this way and my triangle that way. I'm going to fill that in. And just by touching, make sure you get quite a bit of paint on them, because that's what makes these look really nice, is have that little tip of white. It gives those two colors. Okay, so I'm going to extend this one a little bit because I like it a little bit longer, and then I'm going to add a few out here on the edge. You just touch and pull, touch and pull. Okay, and maybe I might even want a couple more over here on the edge. Alright, so now go ahead and put your blue flowers in. There's a clump of blue ones down here on the bottom. So go ahead and turn your video off and then come back. Okay, now once these are all dry, we're going to finish up these little pink ones. And how we're going to finish those little pink ones up is I'm taking my script liner brush, I'm using my yellow light, and I'm not using the bristle part, I'm just using the yellow handle. And I'm coming over here and I'm just dotting the centers. Now they need to be pretty dry, or the paint will just lift right off. So I'm just adding some little centers here. I could even add one up here and there. And I might even want to add a few extras somewhere if I wanted to, like right in here. Sometimes I'll put 2 or 3 dots in here. Like that. Okay? So that really makes those centers pop. Alright? Now we're going to paint the daisies. The daisies is one of those flowers I told you that I like to paint with a round brush, but I'm going to show you how to paint with the yellow brush or the flat brush as well. So we're going to put your project over, get your practice paper back out, load your paint up, your paintbrush, number 12 if you've got it, and I'm going to do one of the daisies with the number 12, and then I'm going to do one of the daisies with the round brush. So I'm loading up my flat brush, yellow and light and white. Okay. Alright, I'm just going to put a couple right here for you to see. I'm going to first take and dip the end of my paintbrush with a yellow dot. And I'm just going to touch right here. And that kind of gives me a mapping where I want to go. And if you saw my free video, you know how to do this, okay? So I'm going to leave the white to the center, so I'm going to lead with the white. I'm going to stand up on my chisel edge, and let me just pull it in so you can see it a little better. Okay. I'm standing up on the chisel edge, Oh, you still can't see very well. Okay, here we go. Standing up on the chisel edge and pushing forward and pull that in, and now I'm almost there, so I'm going to start standing, or lifting my paintbrush up to the chisel edge, and that brings that in. Okay, picking up more paint. I'm going over to the 9 o'clock. I'm standing up, I'm leaning forward, and I'm pulling that in. Stand up, and I'm right there to the center. Okay, then I'm going over here to the 3 o'clock, kind of in between there. I'm going to stand up and I'm pushing down. Now I'm not going to move exactly yet until I look at my bristles and say, has my bristles fanned out a little bit? Yes, they have. So now I'm pulling it in, and I'm standing up, and I am straight on my chisel again. So that pulls it in. You're going to pull it towards the center each time. Now I like to put a little bit of a curve on mine. So I pull that in and make a nice little curve. Again, using a smaller brush if you want to. But anyway, I'll use this one. So there's a little daisy like that. Okay, so now if I'm going to go ahead and put one of these on my project. Okay, and I'm going to stand here. I'm not going to push down very hard this time. I'm going to get my little yellow center. I'm going to put it in right there. Just touching a little bit. Now don't forget to go ahead and wipe that handle off, because you will probably end up getting it on you if you don't. Okay, yellow to the center. I'm touching. I'm not going out very far because I don't want these to be too big. I'm going to 3 o'clock and 6 o'clock, or 3 o'clock and 9 o'clock and 12 o'clock. And I'm going here, and I'm just going to fill in. I'm not pushing very hard because I want these to be little more dainty than wide. But you can make them any way you want. Touch, push down, stand up. Touch, push down, stand up. Touch, push down, stand up. And touch, push down, stand up. See how easy that is? Okay, so these are all kind of clumped together. There's about 5 of those in here. So I've showed you how to use that brush. Now I'm going to show you how to load the round brush. You wet it down and dry it out just like we did the other ones. I'm going to load it, most of it in all the way around in yellow, and then I'm going to tip it in the white. Okay? And I'm going to do the same thing as I did a while ago. I'm going to choose a place where I want my center. I think I want a center right there. Again, wiping my handle off. I'm going to stand up on that tip, 12 o'clock, and touch, push down, and stand right back up. Now this one's going to make a little fatter one. Again, I'm rolling it around the yellow, and I'm touching with the white. Okay, and then I'm touch, and I push down, touch, push down. Okay, more paint. I'm only able to do a few. Going down to 6 o'clock, touch, push down. 3 o'clock, touch, push down. You really like the round brush if you have one. Touch, push down, touch, push down, touch, push down. Okay, now you want to go ahead and put in all of those. There's about 5 in. Looking at my picture here, there's 5 or 6 here, and there's some right here. And then we're ready to do the butterfly. Okay, the butterfly is very easy. Using your loaded yellow number 12 brush, white and yellow, okay, going to, we've got one right here kind of in the center. And you remember how we did, we touched and we pulled in? That's what we're going to do with this as well. We're going to stand up on the chisel edge, we're going to touch, and we're going to flatten it out quite a bit this time. I don't know if you can see that or not. Really, let me turn this around so you can see. We're going to touch, flatten it out, and with the white leading, and we're going to pull that down to there. And that makes one of those, the wings. And this is a really simple butterfly. So we're going to make another touch, push down, and there's a little one right there. And then I'm going to go back and get a nice chisel edge, and I'm going to lightly touch here, touch, and just pull in these little light ones here. Okay, that makes his wings. Now we're going to